Baxter Theatre in Cape Town. Now, the one production that is a must-see for them this month is comedian Stuart Taylor's return to the Baxters one-man show. Fresh from making his first feature film debut in the South African comedy drama Finders Keepers, his hilarious new offering, Funny You Should Say That, will be running from the 22nd of January to the 3rd of February. Andy joins me now from our Seapoint studios in Cape Town to share more on that. A very good morning to you, Stuart. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Simpiwe.
Now, you turned 40 recently, and you said that this shows the version might just be your midlife crisis. How so?
Well, you know what? I've always spoken about what's happening in my life, and many crises hit when you turn 40, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I mean, the show is just kind of me chatting about my life as a dad, my life as a husband, grappling with those as you do, and just kind of trying to figure out your space in this world.
Now, this is your first comedy show in like 3 years. So what will you be bringing to the show that is new and catchy? Of course, I know it is tailor-made.
It is tailor-made, yes, exactly. You know what? I just kind of found comfort in my voice on stage. I find that I censor myself a lot less. That's, I think, what happens when you turn 40. You just, not that you don't care about offending anyone, you just speak your truth. That's pretty much it. But also, I'm working with a new director. His name is Rob van Vieren, and Rob has certainly brought a little something extra to the performance, which I'm really keen on sharing with the audience.
Ah, funny, you should say that. Now, the title of the show, how did it come about?
You know what it is whenever I did gags for comedians off stage, so I do my regular shows, and then I'd say something funny or off stage to comedians. Comedians never laugh. They just kind of look at you and go, that's funny. You should say that. And then I thought, well, that's a pretty cool title for the show, for all the things that you think you want to say, but you're not sure that you should say.
Now, this differs obviously for most comedians, but how long do you generally work on the material that you will be using for the show?
Listen, I haven't done a solo show since 2015. I mean, I've done other shows in between. I did a show called 2015 in Review, and as well as a couple of other ensemble things, the Big Five comedy show. But this is my first solo show in 3 years. So some of the material I've been milling around in my head for quite a while. Some of it I've only just been working on now for the last 2 or 3 months. But what really happens is once you put the whole thing on stage, it finds a life of its own. It's not like a script you get to write before and then you stick to it verbatim. No, you find the momentum. If one bit of comedy is now working way funnier than the rest, then that's where you go. You pick the lowest hanging fruit. You go for the gags, and that's really what the show Funny You Should Say That is about. It's a fun, funny night out. No political agenda. I don't need to say anything overtly political. I just want to make you laugh. That's the show.
Of course. And Rob van Vieren is the theatre director for this show. How was it like working with him?
Well, Rob, as I said, he's got a theatre background, but he's also a stand-up comic. So that's a great combination. It means that he gives you that sort of theatrical structure in your show. So the audience walks out there feeling like they've watched a production, because there's got a sort of beginning, middle, and end thread to it. But at the end of the day, he's a comic, and he's going, listen, let's just make the jokes funny. That's our main job, is to make people laugh. So that was a cool change in the dynamic to have an outside eye who's very, very funny. And he just kind of goes, ooh, that could be funnier, that could be funnier, as opposed to the structure could be better.
And just how much did Van Vieren contribute to this show?
Well, I generally write most of the material, and then I would perform bits and pieces at comedy clubs around the country, and I'll either record myself or I'll sometimes pop in and watch the performance, and we'll sort of spend any 20-minute set, we'll spend about an hour and a half dissecting and figuring out why the laughs happened there. How do you make those laughs bigger? Why was that timing good? Maybe you add some characterizations to make it better. So yeah, it's been a fairly long process. We started working together around about November of last year, and we worked sort of on and off, and of course now we're going to be intensely busy with rehearsals. And I suppose once the show's up and running, a couple of notes, and then we're good to go.
Now, Stuart, tell me, how do you comedians draw the line between material that is offensive and freedom of speech and comedy, of course? How do you strike the balance?
You know what, that's a very interesting thing, because I think it's a personal choice. Ultimately, many of the shows I've done before, I've often gone, this is my political agenda. This is what I want to say with this show. You know what? After 40 years on this earth, I've realized no matter what I want to say on this earth, my job first and foremost is to make them laugh. I'm not going to change people's political agendas and the way they see the world. And in truth, the world is so polarized. If you open your phone, you look at Facebook, everyone's opinions are so polarized. My job is to take all of you, doesn't matter what your background is, put you all in one room and make you all laugh. And the way I can do that is make you laugh at the human condition. Because that's what we all have in common. The best, most rewarding feeling for me as a comic is if you see a young black couple sitting next to an old white couple, and at the back is a middle-aged colored couple, and they're all laughing for the same things. They're all jabbing each other because they're enjoying the show so much. And that's my space that I'm in right now. So those questions about drawing the lines in terms of when is it offensive. If it's offensive, then I don't want to say it. My audience pays lots of money to come and watch me. I mean, money's tight, and I really appreciate when people spend money to come and buy a ticket to watch my show. So my view right now is, nah, I don't want to offend you. Listen, I'll make points, but I won't overtly go out there to offend you. That's not my job as a comic.
And yours is such an enviable job. I mean, you just make a living by making people laugh. So what can we expect? What can we expect from this show?
So listen, as I said, funny you should say that. It's a great solo one-man show. It's a great way to kick off the year. There's lots of tension. Presidents around the world are saying some crazy things about our country. So listen, come along, just release some tension, man. What a great way to start the year, by just coming, laughing at who we are, where we are. And I think the beauty of watching a comedy show is when you sit in that audience, you look at the people around you laughing, you just kind of realize we're all going through the same things. We all have the same struggles. We all have the same problems, the same ups and downs. And it's great to just take a moment to relax, to laugh away your troubles. And that's what we're going to do at the Baxter Theatre from next Monday.
So where and how do we get hold of the tickets?
Very importantly, CompuTicket, that's where my tickets are available. I know the Baxters moved to a different ticket selling platform, but my show is still available on CompuTicket. So you can go to computicket.com, you can call their call center, and obviously ShopRite and Checkers is where you pick up those tickets. Also at the Baxter Theatre, I know at my venue there's going to be a little CompuTicket booth as well. But yeah, get those tickets ASAP, computicket.com.
All right, Stuart Taylor, keep them laughing, man. Thanks for your time.
I will. Thank you very much.
Well, that's Stuart Taylor with his unique blend of stand-up comedy and magic, and he's one of South Africa's top entertainment acts. And he will be performing from the 22nd of January to the 3rd of February at the Baxter Theatre in Cape Town for his one-man show. Funny you should say that. All right, let's go for an ad break. We'll be right back.